Riot Theater fighting for fame and fortune. Please welcome to the stage right now the one and only Norm Macdonald. Woo! Woo!
It's good to be alive, you know, isn't it? It's I find that to be the goodest thing there is, to be alive. And the reason it's so good is because it's so bad to be dead. You know? It's not like life's so fucking great, but compared to being smothered in earth, right? So every day I'm happy, you know. That's my goal in life, is not to die. So that's my New Year's resolution every year. I go, I'm not gonna die. But, you know, I think actually scientists should kind of look into that whole death thing, you know? Because they seem to focus on diseases. And, you know, I don't give a fuck about them. Because guy go, hey, we fixed your arthritis. You go, I'm still going to die? They go, yeah. That's why. So that, I think, is the biggest problem. That's why I can't get behind politicians, you know, because they're always like, the biggest problem today is unemployment. And I'm like, what about getting old and sick and dying? And they usher me out the back way, you know, but seriously though, if there was a politician ever that said, by my second term, there will be no death, I go, I'm voting for that fucker. I give that guy all my money and sit on a chair. But yeah, you know, sometimes I think I won't die. You ever think that? You go, fuck it, I'm not gonna die. But and then in your mind, you know, you analyze, you realize, you know, you know, my dad died, and my grandfather died, and my great-grandfather died, you know, and the guy before him, I don't know, probably died. I think he died. Otherwise, he'd be on Extra. You know? What I'm saying, I come from a long line of death. That's my point. That's my point. So, I fear it, you know? I fear it a lot, and I think most of us do. And, you know, and it's funny, like, how, like, what we fear, how we're gonna die, it's never the ways you do die, you know what I'm talking about? Like, you'll be like, God damn, I hope a polar bear doesn't eat me. Some crazy shit, you know? Or I hope an airplane, you know, I got on an airplane today, and you know, every time you get on an airplane, you go, I hope I don't die. You never die on an airplane. Ridiculous. Or you go, I hope a terrorist does not attack and kill me. I hope that doesn't happen. You know, you're always afraid of that. But you think about, what's the odds that a terrorist will attack and kill you? You know, almost zero, you know. But what are the odds that you'll get attacked and killed by your own heart? Like 100%. I don't know, anyway. I watch the TV, I watch the news. It make you afraid, the news, you know? Put all those stories out. Iraq, Iran, North Korea. Try to scare you, you know? But there's only one country I worry about. The only country I really worry about is the country of Germany. I don't know if you guys are history buffs or not, but in the early part of the past century, Germany went to war. And who'd they go to war with? The world. It had never been tried before. And so, You think that'd take about 5 seconds for the world to win, but no, it was actually close. And then about 30 years later, Germany decides again to go to war, and again they choose to make their enemy the world. This time they got that guy, Skankety Clankety, you know, that guy. I won't dignify him by saying his name, but I think you know who I'm talking about. And, you think at this point, the world would go, listen, Germany, here's the thing. You don't get to be a country no more on account of the fact that you keep attacking the world. What do you think you are? Mars? All right, guys, that's all I got. Thank you very much.
Give it up for Norm McDonald. Your next performer coming to the stage, everybody. He is the host of Millennial Cocktail and the No Show. You're going to love him. Please welcome to the stage right now, Nick O'Connor.
Woo!
You ever think something was going to be a good idea? Then 3 weeks later, you actually have to do it. So some people are empirically better at suicide, but you can't get advice from them. One of my early suicide notes, I gotta get better at my writing. So it was just a post-it that said "dead." So they don't stop having the Jews in Hollywood. That's just a fact. There's a lot of Jews in Hollywood. It's tough out here in the game. Moved out here from Montana. I love to tell people from Boston I'm from Montana and see them not give a shit. The Montana people, they don't realize that I'm not famous yet. Because when I was leaving Montana, they said, hey, the next time I see you, it better be on TV. Sounds like a threat. Next time I see you, it better be on national television. But I'm out here trying to get famous. I think we're all trying to get famous. Got a good motivation for trying to get famous. Want to get just famous enough to make my dad uncomfortable. Make the cover of Absentee Father Weekly. Hope he sees it. Guy fucked me up. Just don't trust dudes. Just don't trust dudes at all. And I'm giving my father all the credit. I think the guy that molested me deserves some. So I want to get famous for him too. Get on the cover of Child Molester Weekly. Because there's no bad press. Alright, let's lighten it up. 9/11 was shit, huh? See, I think the problem with 9/11 was the unintended consequences of America's imperialism. You know, they knocked down a couple of buildings. So we went over there, we knocked down a bunch of countries. Bombs and guns. Bada bing, bada boom, you got yourself an ISIS. I don't like ISIS. ISIS is a bunch of jerks. But I get their narrative. They're just trying to get famous enough to make America uncomfortable. It's a callback. I don't like the people that think 9/11 wasn't a conspiracy. If 9/11 wasn't a conspiracy, what was it? A bunch of terrorist improv groups just yes-anding their way through TSA? They get on the plane and they get up and they say, hey, we're the G-ha-ha-ha-ha-has. And we've taken over the plane. We're going to need some suggestions. And one guy messing with his buddy goes, hey, crash it! All right, we got to crash it. I'm going to need a location. Some jerk from Boston's like, New York City! All right, we got New York City. We're going to need a monument. Yankee Stadium! All right, enough out of you, sir. So they finally make their way to the cockpit, and what do they find out? they find out 3 other terrorist improv groups have taken over planes and are headed for New York City. I hope 9/11 was a conspiracy. You know what, guys? I like my women like I like my coffee. Deep inside my asshole. I've been Nick O'Connor. I've tried to do Nick O'Connor justice. I'm going to just riff for 1 second. I must have told 100 people in conversation that I love Nick O'Connor. Nick O'Connor's the best. I love Nick O'Connor. And I don't think I ever told Nick that in any meaningful way. And that really bums me out because I loved Nick O'Connor. And one of the things I figured out is that we have a finite amount of time doing this on this place. So do what you want to do and do it with the people that you want to do it with. And make sure that you tell them that you love them. That's it.
Give it up for Nick O'Connor, you guys. All right, I've lost all the Jean Paul Rivera I could muster, which wasn't very much in the first place. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to have Kathy Ferris come to the stage real quick. After Kathy, Sebastian Maniscalco, who has a big Netflix special, is coming up here. And then perhaps we'll have a little break-in joke from...
I'm going to do Pat Barrett.
From Pat Barrett. Oh, that sounds like a great idea. Okay, so right now, please welcome Boston Comedy Chick's own, from right here in, well, the show's in Jamaica Plain. I have no idea where she lives. No one knows.
That's true.
She probably does. Probably does. Her daughter recently made her stand-up debut. I think it was even at the Comedy Studio. Welcome to the stage, Kathy Ferris.
Woo!
Thank you, Jean Paul. So I'm a stay-at-home mom, but I leave sometimes. Like right now, they don't even know where I am. I'm sick and tired of families in Cambridge thinking that their kids are better than mine just because their kids eat sushi. Sometimes I hear about how Match.com is having a special going on. Like when my husband tells me, hey, did you hear that Match.com has a special going on? I don't remember the rest of that. I wasn't booked on this show, I was just here. You guys ever watch that show, Hoarders?
Woo! Yeah.
It's a show about people who own everything, except for a trash bag and a mop. Somehow that kills normally. There's a lot of superhero shows going on right now, right? Okay. I think there should be some superheroes that everybody can relate to. Like perhaps one is a 47-year-old housewife with the facial energy of Prince Charles. And who could pass for a 47-year-old Owen Wilson. I recently was in a roast battle against Laura Severse. And I shared my jokes with people, so let me read a few notes. Laura has 2 children, a boy and a girl. One is her favorite. The other one is Jeannie. Laura's husband is very supportive. He really flatters her, unlike most of her bras. I'm a stay-at-home mom, and Laura's husband is a stay-at-home dad. Personally, I think that Laura should be a stay-at-home comedian. Laura claims to have sleep apnea, but really her husband just insists that she wears a mask. went so well when I was at that show. When Laura meets new people, she likes to tell them that her son is a professional model. When her son meets new people, he likes to tell them that he's a professional model and that Laura is not his real mom. Laura Severus and I both started comedy later in life. I needed to get out of the house, and Laura needed an excuse to keep doing drugs. Laura's drug of choice is codeine, a favorite among a dozen legendary rappers and one shitty Boston comedian. I've been Kathy Ferris. Thank you so much.
Give it up for Kathy. That was great. All right. Welcome to the stage right now. Your next performer put out a Netflix special in 2016 called Why Would You Do That? But it was recorded like 2 years earlier, which is, I have no idea how that even happens. But if there's anybody who can bring it to life, it's going to happen right now. So, please welcome to the stage, Sebastian Maniscalco.
I think this special has my favorite name of anything ever. It's called Aren't You Embarrassed? Aren't you fucking embarrassed? I don't know. This is gonna be a mix of me and him. You can fucking figure out the difference. I don't like when people fuck up shit that I love, like porn and grilled cheeses. What the fuck? I'm like, why are you making this too damn complicated? I like when people make shit too fucking complicated and when people have no fucking shame. Remember that? It's just like I go on vacation, beautiful multi-million-dollar hotel. I go to check in. I look to my left. There are adult people checking in with a fucking igloo cooler and flip-flops on. I'm like, aren't you fucking embarrassed? I'm just, not even a new cooler either. The fucking old one taped together with duct tape. Full of fucking schlitz. I'm like, aren't you embarrassed? Like, what is this? Fucking Jesus. I get over the cooler, I look up, he's got a fucking Foreman grill. A Foreman grill! You're checking in on vacation with a Foreman grill. Are you gonna make chicken in the room? Is that what the fuck this is? Damn it all to hell. So I finally get over that. I decide I'm gonna go to the pool and relax. I don't know what you guys do when you go to the pool and relax, but I go the fuck away from people. That's my number one thing. I want to go and set up where the people aren't. So I go out to the pool and I'm doing that, and I'm off to the side. And of course the freaks come in and they find me right away. It's just like, I'm a magnet, he knows. I'm a magnet for fucking freaks. It's part of the reason why I actually do this. Fucking look up at the pool. This guy's got 4 bandages on his fucking foot. 4 bandages. What the hell is going on with your foot that you're trying to fix it at home with 4 bandages? It's like, shit, after the first one, isn't that a hospital visit? What the fuck is going on with your life? You buy 1 box of Band-Aids, that should last your whole life, and you wasted 4 on 1 foot? I'm afraid. I like the alliteration on that 4 on the foot. It tickles me. You're talking about porn and grilled cheeses? I was trying to beat off and then take a nap because I'm good at life. And I'm trying to watch this freaking porn, and she's just doing dicks wrong. She's just like smacking them around and spitting on it and shaking it like it's a shitty kid. Like, what the hell are you doing? Like, who taught you how to do dicks? You sit in the corner, Letty. Don't do that anymore. Bad. I heard after filming that Dick died of SIDS, so it was extra sad. I don't know. I don't know, people, I feel like fucking, you know, if you look around at what's going on now and you know, the baseline for what's happening, we're in fucking trouble. Just across the damn board, we're in trouble, and they're outbreeding us like fucking gangbusters. I realize it's the internet, I think, has set everything off, because before these freak show people were fucking hidden in a basement somewhere and we didn't have to deal with them. And now they got the internet, they got Facebook and they're blogging, and now they're just freaking out and they have a platform to the world, and that's where shit got fucked up. Before, if you were an adult-ass person who wanted to dress up like a fucking baby, you did that at home by yourself with the blinds closed. Now you pop up in a chat room, couple of clicks, you got 800 other motherfuckers who want to do what you're doing, just fucking out in the streets, and it's not okay that I have a problem with this? Fuck. Some things need to be left in the dark. It's fucking wrong. I don't know, man. I was riding my bike over here trying to learn this set and getting high, and also lost because JP is just fucking weird. Fucking weird as shit. It's just like, you end up in a place and you're like, damn, did I just go to Brockton? I'm like, what the hell? This is just fucking wrong. I usually don't like to come this close to Roxbury unless I'm going to be able to get a sub. So I'm not have to go to the Dudley station to make it worth it. Jesus Christ, coming past the heroin highway. Jesus Christ, did they not get the memo? Does anybody else miss when people used to do heroin right? When you fucking do some heroin, make some great fucking music, and then die before 30 like a fucking adult. It's like, what are you even doing now? It's just like, you're just wandering around Revere pissing people off. It's just like, Jesus. And riding the orange line, which is why I like my bike. Because fuck that. I don't know. I don't like when people take liberties with my space, and that could mean my apartment or my fucking brain in my life. Do you know what I mean? It's like, my brain is a chaotic enough place. I don't need you just coming in here and dropping your shit off too. I'm like, no, you're not renting space in my life. No, stupid. Fucking. A friend of mine came over the other day, and I've decided she's not a friend of mine anymore because she took liberties that I was just not happy with. She goes in the kitchen, opens a box of cookies that I hadn't opened, and I'm just like, you know, I wasn't raised that way. I'm just like, I don't know what you think this is supposed to fucking be. But of course, I get angry, so I just go and hide. I'm like a cat like that. I just go and fucking hide until it's over because I can't scratch you in the face. I don't know, that joke went awry. That one's not mine. It's weird to do other people's jokes. That's why I really don't understand joke stealing, because it's just like, that didn't happen to you. You know that didn't happen to you. You weren't talking to your wife the other day because you're a broad and you're straight. You can't fucking pull that shit off. I'm a broad and I'm straight because anatomy. This broad was on stage not too long ago talking about having sex but not having orgasms. Like trying to relate to the ladies in the audience. I was like, no, I don't know. Like, I think maybe you got a broken clam. Like, should take it back to the store. Did you turn it off and then turn it back on again? Did that help? What the hell is going on in your life? And why are you doing it? That's my other thing. I'm like, you know, you could like take a nap instead. This isn't mandatory unless you're a sister wife. But, you know, I guess I don't know your life. I'm happy to come out to JP after I finally found a place. I'm happy to see you guys because sometimes there's really nobody here and it's just us throwing dick jokes at each other and it's extra sad. I went to a show in Connecticut earlier this week, and I love the shows where you show up and every other comic is like, this is going to be awful, and I'm like, this is going to be awesome. And it fucking was. It's just like, Jesus. I was like, there are slow-witted, loud men playing pool over here. Nobody is listening. There are white women in pajama bottoms outside. I posted a meme with Charlize Theron from Monster with a very specific haircut of women, white women who are not to be fucked with. I posted that meme, and I kid you not, after my set, a woman with that haircut gave me a handshake and was like, you were great. I was like, I was like, I'm glad, because if shit pops off, I want you in my fucking corner. Because I'm just like, if the hillbillies decide to go back to the way they usually do it, I might need some backup. I love New England hillbillies, though. Our hillbillies are the fucking best. It's like you go up to New Hampshire, it's like, live free or die. I'm like, what? I'm like, calm down, dude. Like, aren't you like a 2x2 state that's known for big rock and discount liquor? And like, didn't The Rock leave? So, she knows. Fucking big face Rob. I don't know. You guys have been absolutely awesome. Thanks very much. I highly recommend Aren't You Embarrassed? Because it's fucking awesome. Like I said, I can't tell this jokes because he's fucking dead. I'm fucking dead. All right, guys. Thanks very much.
I have to say, I agree with you, Sebastian / Zenobia, 100%. This week, I gotta learn to grab that microphone in the right spot. This week, someone looked at me and he was like, somebody was talking, they were like, we all have trouble getting to orgasm, and then like landed on me. I was like, no, we do not. Okay, so we're gonna have Pat Barrett to the stage, and then after that, the voice of Comedy Central, Kyle Kinane, is coming to the stage. And then after that, perhaps...
I know, Daniel McRobbie.
Yeah, perhaps a joke from Daniel McRobbie,
Yeah.
who will be pleased to find out that he followed Kyle Kinane. I think he will enjoy that. Maybe with wine, but he will enjoy it. So, right now, I want you to welcome to the stage all of your energy. Maybe my favorite rapper. Maybe my favorite rapper in the world. Definitely one of my favorite drug addicts. An amazing performer. The one and only Pat Barrett.
Woo! Alright, I wasn't planning on performing tonight, but I'm gonna do at least one joke. And Pat Barrett was the first person I thought of, so let me just transform. This is going to be a little bit of Riley Knipsel for anybody else that knows him. I like my women like I like my coffee. I don't like coffee. So you don't know if I'm a misogynist or a homosexual. Alright guys, that's really all I can do of Pat Barrett. Thank you.
I focus on the pain.
I think we're learning from the music the covers are sad. But Pat Barrett was great, and I have seen him do sets that short. So, good job. All right, so very shortly, we're going to have Kyle Kinane on the stage, and then Daniel McRobbie, and then Matt Miller is coming up. So, right now, I want you to give him your energy and your love. His latest special is Loose in Chicago.
Okay, I got confused.
He is maybe the only person who knows how pancakes work. He is the one and only. Welcome him to the stage, Kyle Kinane.
Thanks for coming out, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Okay, let's get into it. What? Now. Okay. I don't like it when people call you a hero every time you rescue an animal from the animal shelter. But when I get my new girlfriend from the woman's shelter, I'll move on, I guess. Good news, guys. I don't have to sleep anymore because all my dreams are coming true in the daytime. Pretty excited about it. I got a $160 bike ticket. I got pulled over after a pursuit, I guess. The officer approached my vehicle. It got very confusing. He approached my vehicle and goes, "What's the hurry?" You can't say that when you're in a car and I'm I mean, it was gravity. I'll give you that. The pursuit was this. Me for 20 minutes on a bike. Without me knowing I was getting pulled over. Because I don't have any fucking rear view mirrors, moron. Okay, let's move on. Okay. I come from a long line of heroes in my family. My grandfather, World War II, hoorah. My dad, Vietnam, enlisted like a real man. And I kind of get it, because like, my grandma signed me up for a Little League team that was sponsored by a funeral home. So I get like, wearing the uniform of some group who's had 1,000 people die. I get it. Hoorah. His jokes are goddamn so long. I tried learning pancakes, and I'm like, dude, he just keeps talking and talking and talking. I'm not a smart guy. I got a creative writing degree. And I remember telling my parents, they were like, how do you think you're gonna pay for that, Kyle? And I told them, it's gonna pay for itself. Man. I'm from Chicago, so we used to have a standardized test in the area, and it was called the Iowa Standardized Test. And then I visited Iowa, and as I got a little older, and I realized that maybe Iowa isn't the place you want to base standardized tests on. It's not a good idea. But I did so well in public school that my teachers, they put me in advanced creative writing. It's a syllabus, one line. Explore your imagination. And I was like, awesome. All my friends are out in the woodworking shop, carpentry, learning for life. But not me. I'm exploring my imagination. Man. I have no magic. He goes, Kyle, you are aware this is not an actual town. He goes, well, that's good because I don't have much political experience. We're doing good. I don't know, man. I'm trying to be smart, I guess. I know it's very tough. It's so tough to be smart. Like, you see something that you just want to say, something real pretentious. Like, you see, like one tow truck towing another tow truck, and you're just like, sometimes pillars of strength need help. And all just comes out as like, oh, look at two tow trucks just trying to fuck each other. I love it. I suffer from insomnia. Some people think they have insomnia. They don't. They'll just be up at 2 o'clock watching Carson Daly. Ugh. That's not insomnia. Insomnia, if you don't know, it's about the time you rest your head down. About the time you're about to fade away at the shore of sleep. The waves crest upon your little toes, and you just think, "Hey, Kyle, you think you can barbecue on a volcano?" And then you just dissect that for 12 hours, and then have a good night, guys.
Give it up for Kyle. That was great. It's true. All of Kyle Kinane's bits are 25 minutes. That was really a hard task. You did good. All right, so we're going to have Daniel McRobbie on the stage. We're going to have Matt Miller after that. And then Pedro and Josh, do you guys want to come and tell a joke as someone?
I can do Ben Keith.
We're going to have Ben Keith. Yeah.
I could do probably one joke as Maria Bamford.
Let's do that. We're going to have Ben Keith and Maria Bamford. Okay. So, right now, coming to the stage, He is a very dark man. Perhaps his only success is in the wine industry, but he is also hilarious. And I love him to death because no one hates their mom as much as that guy. So, welcome the one and only Daniel McRobbie.
I can only really think of one bit, so. Once when I was a kid, my dad took me to a topless donut shop. What I'm talking about isn't a donut shop without any toppings. I'm talking about a donut shop with topless women. And that day I learned the best time to eat a Boston cream donut is with a full erection next to your father, who also has a full erection. You really come together.
Oh, God.
That's actually a new addiction. He's trying that one out. I'm not sure if I do. He usually ends it by being like, I want to open a bottomless seafood store called Crabs. That's his usual ending. Seems that in Boston, the new insult is to ask someone if they went to Emerson. They're like, did you go to Emerson? And they're like, excuse me? That's all I got.
Yes, he's great. Give it up for him. All right, so your next performer coming to the stage, we're gonna have him, and then we're gonna have Ben Keith and Maria Bamford. So, welcome to the stage. This guy is fantastic. He is hilarious. He's a master of weird gestures. He's never run a show, and he always blows the light. But we love him to death because he is hilarious. Welcome, Matt Miller.
Tell me, baby.
So, I was at the club, right? Making out with this girl. We were just like, making out, right? And she was like, hey, Matt, you're too drunk to drive. Why don't you come to my house and crash with me? And I was like, I'm not too drunk to drive. Then we kept making out. And she was like, hey, Matt, come on, you're too drunk to drive. Why don't you come to my bed and sleep in my bed with me? And I was like, fuck you, lady. I can drive. That night, I ran over a family of 4. Well, actually, a family of 2. The kids survived. But I reversed back over them. You don't want to live without parents. I got a DUI, and I was on a date. And I told the girl, I have a DUI. I don't have a job. I don't have any money. She was like, do you think you're gonna get a second date? I was like, yes. And I did. And after our second date, we slept together. It was like, boo! 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 Boo!
remember seeing a commercial a while back that said, "Don't get a DUI. If you get a DUI, you'll lose your job. You won't have any money. Girls won't want to date you. You won't get any girls." I don't find that to be true because I got a girl. So I think I want to make a new commercial that's like, "Don't get a DUI. You'll lose your job. You'll lose your money. You'll lose your car. But you'll still get the brats." Dating is hard. One hard part of dating is to get the date to show up to the date. So what I like, because it's frustrating, you get to the date and then the other person doesn't show up for the date and you're there alone. So what I like to do is I like to have dates at a place that I would already be, like the laundromat. And that way, I'm doing my laundry, but then if she does show up, I can finger her on a washing machine. And then one day, there'll be a surveillance camera and I can show the video of me fingering our kid's mother on a washing machine to our kid. Have y'all heard of ASMR? Yeah, auto response. That sounds very yeah, so ASMR, it's like I had this girlfriend, Stephanie Miller. No, her name wasn't Miller, but something. And she was really into ASMR shit, right? So I remember she would listen to videos of like people whispering and like tapping and stuff, and I would, and I was always like, I want to bring ASMR into the bedroom. We should do sex with it. Like, why don't I throw a frisbee through wet leaves into your dry puss? Why don't I drop all these marbles into your wet puss? Why don't I whisper the instructions to build a desk into your asshole? Yeah, dating's hard. I was sleeping with this girl. Boo! 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 Right, and that I was getting real tired, and then I leaned over to get some water, and I tipped the glass of water all over her laptop and phone. I don't remember the punchline of this story, but I can't believe he did that. One time I was beating it, and I tried to swallow it, but I couldn't get it to get into my mouth because of my fat gut. You know? So I had to kind of like, I don't remember the punchline of that either right now. I'm pretty sure. Whatever, it's fine.
You have to wipe it off his chest.
Oh yeah, that's right. I had to wipe it off my chest and put it in my mouth. My parents, they don't support my comedy. Recently, I was showing my father my YouTube videos, and I was like, "Hey, Dad, look at this YouTube video. It's got 500,000 likes on it. No, views. Fuck. Look at this video. It's got 500,000 views on it. And my dad was like, okay, Matt, but did any of those people actually like it? I was like, okay, Dad, you're impotent. Thank you. Thank you.
Give it up for Matt Miller. Oh, that was great. Thank you. Woo! That's so fun to do. So fun to do. All right, your next performer names couches for a living at Wayfair. That's a real true thing. So if you see a shitty named couch, you talk to him about it. He has a traditional chant that brings him to the stage, and so we are going to chant it. Are you ready?
Yes.
Welcome to the stage, Ben Keefe!
Ben Keefe! Ben Keefe! Ben Keefe! Ben Keefe!
Ben Keefe! Oh, you guys are the worst. Guys, I'm Ben Keefe, and this is how I talk when I'm on stage, and then this is how I'm on stage with someone else. Guys, I'm wearing my favorite short sleeve button up, unbuttoned, and I'm also wearing my favorite Boston Red Sox hoodie, also unzipped. Ooh, do a little. Guys, how's this go? I love Pop-Tarts, you guys.
Yes!
I love Pop-Tarts. I wrote a letter to Pop-Tarts recently. Dear Pop-Tarts, I have been a fan of your product for many, many years. When I was 16 years old, I got my driver's license. Shortly after, I ran over an elderly couple, but I just kept going. Pop-Tarts helped me get through the transitional period into adulthood. Pop-Tarts is great. It has forever changed the way how I type. Yeah, that's it.
Ben Keefe! Ben Keefe! Ben Keefe! Ben Keefe! Ben Keefe! Ben Keefe!
One more time for Ben Keefe! So your next performer is crazy, so crazy, but she has an amazing, amazing Netflix television series that you can watch. It is called Lady Dynamite. Please welcome to the stage the one and only Maria Bamford.
Love is a burning thing.
So, doing great lately. I've been recently married to my husband. It's been lovely. We've been having a lot of sex, a lot of potions and lotions and ungulates and junglets and rooms and wedges and hustle, bustle, hustle, bustle, hustle, bustle, hammer, anvil, hammer, anvil, hammer, anvil! Nothing's been consummated, but we've been having some furious hand-holding and our palms are raw with desire. He's so patient with me. Lately I've been leaving a lot of bottles open, a lot of caps everywhere. And very patiently, very calmly, he asked me, why? And I said to him, listen, I'm a raccoon. I gotta get in, get what's good, be on my way, get back to the river with my friends. We were in bed the other night, and he looked over and said, "Are you eating a salad in bed?" It's nighttime. I'm awake. Oh, you know, I love everyone. I love you so much. I love my family so much. I love my nieces and nephews. But is that what I say when all I do is FedEx them a box full of wigs, and I'm not quite clear on their names? Hi, Tiny. Where's the other ones? I love my friend. She's always trying to get me to do things. You want to go horseback riding? What is it? We go to a dusty trail, and two lesbians who are in a relationship, and now they're broken up, but they own a small business, and horses bite. I'll go for a year, but that is it. You want to do boot camp? It starts at 6 a.m. and they get you into a shape. Listen, I'll go for 5 days, but on the 5th day, Tanya, and I know it's going to be Tanya, is going to say to me, "Come on, Maria, I want to see you push it." And I am never going back.
For you guys. Okay, so your final performer for the evening. I can't believe we made this work this far. The final performer for the evening, honest to goodness, cannot have his photograph taken or be recorded in any way, really and truly.
Okay.
Because